Sharpton? Let's start with Sharpton. Let's start with what he tweets, and then I'll take you back and forth. First of all, this is Sharpton. I am still concerned about all of this gunplay is okay in the atmosphere of pro sports. This incident in the Wizards locker room sends bad signal to young fans. Whatever did or didn't happen, we cannot make guns acceptable to our youth. I spoke to NBA Commissioner Stern about it. Now let's go to Arenas. Al Sharpton comments. I'll try to be as nice as he was to me on my tweet. This is Arenas now talking about Al Sharpton. For a kid who does a lot of work for the black community, referring to himself, I didn't get the memo you were still one of our black leaders, because if you was, you wouldn't have made a comment like that before getting all the facts straight. I have my black leaders tattooed on my leg. I call it Black Rushmore. I'm sure you've been following this story. We have here, a lot of folks have been following this. It's an interesting case. It's especially interesting the way Arenas himself has been reacting. Then his tit for tat with Sharpton. And now this from Stern. Put it all together for us. Your thoughts, your take.
Well, first of all, keep in mind, David Stern has gotten a lot of criticism because he was being silent. He alluded to that in that particular statement. But there's no doubt in my mind that he recognized the seriousness of this nature, because it is known by many NBA players that the locker room is their inner sanctum. It is their sanctuary. And so you don't do that. Arenas was he said, well, this was a joke. And so he did not understand the seriousness of this. And so Stern recognizes that you are damaging the product, the NBA. Not only that, the Washington Wizards used to be known as the Washington Bullets. The former owner, Abe Poland, who just died, changed the name because he did not want that being the name in a city where their murder rate was so high. And so you have history there as well. So Arenas was nuts playing around.
I was essentially saying to Arenas, you're making us look bad, man. Is he right?
Well, first of all, he is right, because also, take it a little bit further, and that is, more black men, young black men, die as a result of gun violence in this country every single year than anything else. And so what Al Sharpton is saying is, here you are, a role model, an NBA player, folks wear your jersey, and this is the kind of action. Again, Plaxico Burress carries a gun in the club, shoots himself in the leg, now sitting in prison. There have been a number of other gun incidents involving NBA players. Look, you have some guys who say, hey, we're targets. Yeah, look, I just spent some time in Miami with several NBA players. I was down there for vacation, and look, not a single one of them said, hey, this makes sense. They all said, this is stupid, his actions were stupid, and they made no sense whatsoever. And so I'll be surprised. Here's what you watch out for, Rick.
He makes, by the way, just wanted to let the viewers know, this guy makes $111 million.
Well, first of all, over several years. It's not a Rush Limbaugh contract. But here's the other piece.
I wouldn't complain with
But here's the other piece, though. The Wizards could very well void the contract. That's one thing. But the thing to watch out for, will the NBA Players Association appeal the Stern ruling? That's going to be a real interesting thing to watch out for if they do that, because oftentimes they do. Latrell Sprewell choked his coach. They appealed that and actually won. This is going to be a little bit different, I think.
What do you make of Arenas we've been we do this thing called Rick's List. I think a lot of people are starting to learn about this, and we've been following relevant people. Arenas, he's been on our list every day for the last 4 days. He's tweeting like a madman about this. Unapologetic until last night around 7 o'clock when I checked my list.
This shows how some people are stupid. Common sense is no longer common. And so Gilbert Arenas clearly did not understand that he was putting a $100 million contract in jeopardy. You also don't play with the product. He is not bigger than the Wizards or the NBA. They will cut him in a heartbeat. And so he has to understand that. And so I bet he now understands it now. But whoever was advising him, they were clearly idiots. And if they were advising him right and he wasn't listening, guess what? The joke is now on you, Gilbert Arenas. And you get to sit at home and now wonder if you're going to have a career and have a big contract.
We're down to about 45, 50 seconds on that. The news is that Gilbert Arenas has been suspended from the NBA. We're with Roland Martin. Do you think he doesn't understand how serious this thing is?
Well, first of all, if you're constantly tweeting and you're joking about it and not taking it seriously, the first rule, keep your mouth shut in any crisis. Keep your mouth shut, show humility, apologize profusely. He didn't do any of that, and so he was simply blowing it off. guess what? He can't play around with it now. My advice, stop tweeting, stop talking, go sit your butt down, get with a crisis intervention team, because you have some serious heat that you're now facing. And look, this thing could go on and on. It doesn't mean he's going to be back on the court in a couple of weeks. And I wouldn't be surprised if the NBA bars him from the All-Star game and other kind of things as well.